We're not trying to sell you anything. We just have something that you might be interested in buying. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken, and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. So where did the month go? Holy cow, June has come and gone. I know I haven't been around much on here since my last upload, which was a month ago or so, maybe a little more now. But as I was talking about in that one, June was going to be and ended up being a very, very busy month. June started off with me going with a friend down to Arlington, Texas for 3 games. The Mariners were in town. So we went down and saw them play and consequently get whooped all 3 games. That was a brutal, brutal weekend. But it was fun. It's always a good time to go to the ballpark, especially with friends, be that ones that I've known for years or ones that I just met as they came in from Seattle to go to the games as well. Like Kristen here and David, who is known more so as the Mariner suit guy. Just before this game, I actually was tagged on Facebook by somebody in a Mounjaro group that I'm part of. Stacy tagged me that she was going to be at the game that Friday, and she was really excited, and that she drew inspiration from me about going to games. So I was really excited to see that, and then realized, wait a minute, that's the same game. So I hit her back, and we were able to meet up. That was a lot of fun. So here's a picture of Stacy and I. And here's a picture of Stacy and I with Dave, the Mariner suit guy, photobombing us. So just check that out. That is a classic photobomb. I got home from that trip, had a week before I had to go back down to Arlington and the Dallas area in general. A friend, Bob, and his son, Josh, were flying in from back home in Washington. So they had never been to the area, so we spent several days down there going and checking out stuff around the area, specifically doing JFK related tours. So like the 6th floor museum at the old Texas School Book Depository building. We even did the JFK trolley tour around town, which is about an hour and 15 to hour and 20 minute trolley ride around all over the place, showing you not only JFK stuff, but as well stuff around Dallas and pointing out different things like I've never seen before, honestly, as many times as I've been down there. That Thursday before the game, we were hanging out at the hotel. And I was really excited for this one because it was a matchup of 2 amazing pitchers. Shohei Ohtani for the Angels and Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers. Man, you just don't get a better pitching matchup than that these days. So to see those 2 guys going up against each other was going to be spectacular. So while we were hanging at the hotel for a little bit, I get a text message from my wife. And she starts telling me about the storms headed towards the house. And well, we know how storms can be in this area. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. But she was getting a little freaked out from the sounds of it. So I finally just asked her, do you want me to come home? Her biggest thing is she wanted me home, but didn't want to tell me I had to miss that pitching matchup. So I finally just looked over at Bob and I said, pack it up, we're headed north. As we did, that put us on a collision course with a big storm rolling through Ardmore, Oklahoma. That, as we got nearer to it, ended up being tornado warned not once, but twice. One that was visually seen and one that was radar indicated. You could see from this screen cap I did of the Radar Omega app that I had up instead of GPS so I could track everything. We ended up having to make a decision. Are we going to pull up and wait for it to pass? Or can we pass it before it gets to the interstate? I felt like we had plenty of time, and so we went ahead and drove through the beginnings of that storm, which ended up being pretty nasty, but we were able to outrun those 2 tornadoes. I do not advise you to do this at all. I'm a little bit of a weather nerd. I know how to read radar. I know how to track all that stuff, so I knew the pace in which it was moving. I knew that we had plenty of time. So we made the decision and we got past it. Between there and the rest of the way home, we hit a few more pockets that were pretty bad. Some decent hail, nothing really big, but a lot of it. And then we got home and storm was pretty good. It wasn't anything horrific, but it was worth sitting out on the back porch and watching for a little bit. Bob actually went out into it because he wanted to know what a 70-mile-an-hour gust feels like, and it was gusting pretty good. So I got a picture here. It's not the best. Let me put that up. If you can see that look on his face, just check that out. It was pretty funny. The next day we did a bunch of tourist stuff around Oklahoma City. Bob wanted to go down and see the Oklahoma City bombing memorial site. So we went down there and showed him all around it, as well as Oklahoma City. That Saturday we got up early, headed up to Bartlesville, where my brother lives. They were not in town, but we did get to go by their coffee shop so Bob could see it. And then we headed up into Kansas, clipped the corner of Missouri just so they could say they've been there, and then down into Oklahoma to my family reunion. It's been 20 years or more since I've been to a family reunion. Actually, the last time I saw a lot of them was for my mom's funeral back in December of 2008. So it was a little little weird, to say the least. But it was a good time getting to see a bunch of them, especially those that now live down in the Texas area and drove up for it. So it was fun. We weren't there a whole long time because we needed to get to Tulsa to have dinner with a friend who lives there now, just outside of Tulsa. We went to school with him back home in Washington from 7th grade on to graduation. So it was good to get to see Jeff. The three of us haven't been together at the same time in about 16 years. So that was a lot of fun. That night, once we got to the house, it actually stormed far worse than the 2 nights ago. It was great. Serious winds, lots of amazing lightning. The thunder was just spectacular. I was so excited that Bob got to experience an Oklahoma storm up close and personal. Thank goodness no tornadoes though. Just a few days after Bob left, the wife and I packed up. We went back to Dallas. That's my 3rd time in a month. This time we were going down to an event called An Evening with John Cusack, where we went and saw a showing of the movie Say Anything, one of my all-time favorites. Man, I don't know how many different quotes I have from that I use on the regular. So it was great to get to see it, and the fact that John Cusack was there as well. After the movie, he spent about 45 to 50 minutes taking questions, telling us about the movie, about other things in his career. It was great just to get to listen to him talk about things from movies, especially Say Anything, but movies that I've really enjoyed through the years. I'm a little bit of a fanboy, I guess you could say, when it comes to John Cusack. I've been to several places like Grosse Pointe, Michigan, where Grosse Pointe Blank was filmed, part of it at least. Of course, Say Anything was based in Seattle, Lakewood area, but filmed a lot in California, but there's a lot of scenes from the Seattle area. So now I'm home, have a few more days until we hit the road again. Headed to Houston this time. We're going to do one night in the Plano area. I'm hoping to go to a Frisco Rough Riders game. Man, Wednesday is looking like it's going to be about 97 degrees at first pitch. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see just how hot it is and if I'm willing to sit out in that. I know they'll have a little bit of shade, but I don't know. I don't do direct sunlight, honestly. The heat won't bother me too much. Just grab a bottle of water and I'd be good. But it's the sitting in the direct sun for any period of time that just won't work too well with me. And since it doesn't have a roof like they do at the ballpark there in Arlington, Globe Life Field, we'll have to see. But then the next morning we are headed to Houston. Going all the way down to southern Texas there. We're going to go see the Mariners. They're playing a 4-game series. We're actually only going to go to 3 of them. As coincidence would have it, some friends of my wife's are going to be in town from back home, Seattle area, just north, Marysville. So they're going to be in town. We'll get to see them on Friday. And then we have some friends that are also from back home that are now living in San Antonio that are coming over on that Saturday to go to the game with us. So I'm really looking forward to getting to see everybody. Should be a good time this weekend. So then once we get home on Sunday, I've got 10 days until I hit the road again. I am headed out to Arizona to see, the Mariners. I'm going to go out there for a 3-game series, but I decided I'm going to take a little bit more time since I can. And I'm going to drive good old Route 66 from here in Oklahoma City. I'm going to drive it all the way over to Needles, California, and then backtrack down to the Phoenix area. And then I'm going to spend a week in the Valley of the Sun there. I'm staying at our timeshare, so it's costing me nothing out of pocket right now to stay there for the week. And I'll have a full kitchen, so I'll be doing my own cooking, which should really help on the road bloat, as I like to call it. So can't wait for that. 6 games there, 3 versus the Cardinals, a day off that Thursday, which I'll probably spend going around and checking out all the spring training parks. Of course I will. And then the 3 versus the Mariners that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I'll be joined, one of those at least, by a friend from back home that now lives in Scottsdale. So looking forward to seeing Jennifer as well while I'm there. After I leave there, I'm going to drive down to Tucson, and then I'm going to head over into New Mexico, where I've always wanted to go to White Sands National Park. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go through Roswell, New Mexico, see if I can find any intelligent alien life form over there. Again, someplace I've wanted to go, place I've wanted to see for so long. I'm going to finally do it. And then on the way out, I'm going to do the elevator ride down into, I think it's called the Grand Room or the Great Room at Carlsbad Caverns, that national park. Once I've completed it, then it's on my way to Arlington, catch a couple Ranger games before I come home to complete that trip. So just a couple days after I get back from it, no, I'm not hitting the road again. That'll be my surgery. So carpal tunnel here in the wrist, plus the ulnar nerve surgery. Same thing they did over here, which by the way, is looking pretty good. I think you can see that there. And then you can't even really see that because she did such a good job on it. It looks just right in the wrinkle. She did an amazing job. So it's feeling really good. Really excited about that. So I can't wait to get this one done because it keeps getting worse. I actually was doing some research for the Arizona trip on the computer where I was typing a little bit, and after about 15-20 minutes this wrist started hurting really bad. So I couldn't imagine what it would be like having to type for a 8-hour shift like I normally do at work. So can't wait to get this done, and of course that'll mean getting back to work, which yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mainly so I can start building up more vacation time, more personal time, so I can actually go out and do more, because now that I've lost so much, I'm really looking forward to that. So, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So as I mentioned before, I'm not really tracking anything, not in MyFitnessPal like I used to, at least. I'm pretty much winging it day by day by day. I do try to calculate in my head, especially sodium. Some days I have better days than others. Yesterday was one of those. I don't know what I did, but at the end of the day I started thinking about it and I'm like, that's a lot of salt. So the scale definitely represented that this morning, and no big deal. I mean, it's just fluid that's being held on. We'll stay the course, and I'm sure it'll come off too. So I mentioned the word road bloat earlier. When you go out on the road like this, especially when you're with friends and family, it's hard to not eat things. And again, I've said it many times, I'm not worried about the calories because I'll burn the calories off fairly quickly, I think, because I'm much more active now than I used to be. Thank you, Mounjaro. But I'm more worried about the sodium, and then when I have a lot of sodium, if I combine that with either too much water or, as the case is time to time, too much beer, it just holds on to me. Case in point, from January 2nd, the day that I left to go to Arlington the first time this month, to 2 days after my buddy Bob left, so the 21st of June, I went up 31 pounds. 31 pounds. Again, I knew that was just fluid mostly, so I wasn't too concerned, but it still sucks. When you get on the scale and you're like, okay. I couldn't believe it, honestly. I thought maybe 15, maybe, and it was more than double that. So I set forth that morning, just a little over a week and a half ago, to lower my sodium again, and I did pretty good. In the first 7 days, I went down 30 pounds. 1 week, down 30 pounds. Now, granted, again, fluid, but it's still just wicked what the body can do and how it can hold on to it so quick. but it can also release it in a quick way too. So 30 pounds that fast. And then as of this morning, today is July 3rd, I am at 409 pounds, which puts me at a grand total weight loss overall of 186 pounds, which means then that I have lost on Mounjaro a grand total of 151 pounds. You know, it had been going a lot faster, but we all knew it was eventually going to slow down. And with the things that I've been doing this last month, I have not really been strict. So I guarantee you I'm not getting the things that my body needs to really lose the weight. I'm not making sure I'm getting enough potassium. I'm not making sure that I'm getting even close to 100 grams of protein a day. I can't even guarantee that I'm even close to that, because there are some days that I may only have one protein shake and then I eat something else. Again, I'm not really keeping track fully of it. I'm going on how I feel. Last night was a perfect example of that. As I was getting ready to go to bed, I was really, really tired. And I just felt run down. So I grabbed a protein shake. Figured why not? And I drank a 30-gram protein shake just before bed last night. And today, I mean, I feel much better. All I've had today was some green beans. Wanted to boost my fiber a little bit, so I grabbed me some green beans. Once I'm done with this video and I start editing it, I'll probably go grab me a shake, to be honest with you. I got some 42s out in the garage fridge, so I'll grab one of those while I'm editing. But I really, again, I just haven't really tracked anything. So for the month of June, I am actually down 6 pounds. 6 pounds overall. I am not disappointed with that at all. You know, the fact that I can go and see and do a whole heck of a lot more, you know, you just got to take that into account, I think, when you're on your Mounjaro weight loss journey, because never thought I'd be able to do stuff like this, be able to go as much as I've been going. And one, I understand I have the time, and so I'm doing it. But even if I had the time, but my weight was up, if this was last year, forget about it. 2 years ago, wouldn't even have considered anything. But right now, I feel like I can go every day. I mean, there's days that I don't use my cane just to walk around the house. I've been known to run into, you know, convenience stores really quickly without my cane. So I see that I'm getting better at walking. I can walk more. I can do more. It's the little things. You know, I posted in a Facebook group about Mounjaro not that long ago. I did an update, and I said that while I still have a lot more weight to lose, I've started to look for victories in other places other than just the scale, because I've learned the scale cannot tell the full story of your success. I know that might sound corny, might sound a little cheesy, but it's true. The places I've gone, the things I've done, the things I've been able to just do without even really having to think twice about, is all thanks to the weight loss on Mounjaro. And if you look back at the beginning of the summer, the beginning of baseball season to now, I have come so far in that period of time, and yet I've only lost 25 pounds. I've only lost about 25 pounds. There's a salesman at the door. What's interesting about it is I point out the sign that says no soliciting, and they're like, we're not trying to sell you anything. We just have something that you might be interested in buying. So yeah, that was a little bit longer video than I had planned, honestly. Yeah, life's been busy. Been trying to stay going, but I'm glad that even though my weight is going down slower than I expected originally, I'm doing so much more, so I can't really complain about that. That just means I'm going to hit that milestone of being out of the 400s before long. Not too long after that, I'll hit that milestone of 200 pounds lost overall. A little later than I had hoped for, the way things were going, but overall, I hope to hit 200 pounds lost by September 2nd. So we'll see if I get it before then or right close to it. Either way, I'll be happy, because man, there's just a lot going on, and I'm out enjoying life. So thank you, Mounjaro, for that, and thank you all for dropping by and and checking this video out. I do appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.